What's up everyone, welcome back to another video. In this week's video I'm going to be breaking down the cylinder heads off of the STI, getting ready to take those to the machine shop, and then once I finish up with that I will be going over all of the parts that we plan to install into the cylinder heads once I get back from the machine shop. So stay tuned. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and take apart the cylinder heads. I went ahead and marked all of the valve buckets. Getting a new valve and a valve job anyway, so it's not really all that critical to put them back where they came from, but still something I'm just in the habit of doing. So I went ahead and did that. So a little stuck. Do the vacuum now because they're seized.
Was that a magnet? That works way easier.
It does.
So basically, like, these are shim buckets and they have a number on the inside, correct?
Yeah, and the number correlates to what size bucket it is.
I don't think you can see that, no matter how hard I focus. Anyway, so each one of these buckets is a different size.
Smaller the number means thinner it is, larger the number means thicker it is. And you use a variety to set your cams to the correct lash. Yep.
So these are keepers.
When I'm on a hammer stroke, maybe don't ask a question.
Different extension.
Yeah, probably.
None in there. Well, look. Don't stress it. So would you like to talk about what we're going to be putting in these heads, or not quite yet?
I think it would be better to do that with the new parts.
Okay.
I'm a visual person.
It's going to be a lot better. So what are you using to do that? A 3/8 extension?
And a broken socket.
Is a broken socket optional?
Okay, it doesn't have to be broken. I've just got plenty of broken sockets, so
I'm taking apart this long block.
may as well put them to use.
How many keepers should we get? Cheaper.
Yeah, so 16.
So you like to put everything in small Tupperwares when you're taking it apart?
I do. It helps me stay organized.
So these are valves. And you said these are exhaust valves?
That's an intake. You can tell the exhausts apart because they're usually super heat scored.
And this just has carbon buildup on it.
That's an exhaust valve.
So this is an exhaust valve. Oh, and it says E on it, I believe. Yes.
EX it should say, yeah.
So yeah. Something cool.
Valves and seals look like they're fine.
Yes. So now you're going to be removing the spark plugs.
Yeah.
What do you think?
GKs, no complaints. No damaged threads.
You're not done yet.
On that one.
So what else do we have to take out of this?
Oh, we'll take the cam position sensor off. We'll take the ABCS solenoid off of this side.
Because these have to go to the machine shop as well, right? Not the cams, because the cams are not going back in this engine.
They don't. Gotta mix the spark plugs. They don't have to. I just figure if I'm paying to get the heads cleaned, I may as well have those on there.
Were you sighing because there's two different spark plugs?
One being an auto light, yes, that would be the.
What cylinder was that from?
This is the passenger side rear, so that'd be 3.
So would that be the one that you have to jack the engine up to get to?
You kind of have to do that for all of them.
Oh, okay. So those are just siliconed in, those little half moons, right?
Mm-hmm.
Will the machine shop take those out?
If I can't get them out, yeah.
For a fee.
And they're in there for line honing the cam bores.
Anytime I ask Mike if the machine shop will do something for us, his response is, yeah, for a fee.
It's true. They're happy to do anything.
For a fee.
For a fee. Time ain't free.
I just figured that if they were going to take the time to machine it, they would clean it. Like, that's just kind of how it works. Kind of like you clean a tooth before you put a filling in it. But what do I know?
Not bad logic. I will say that it's not bad logic.
So now what are you taking out?
Cam position sensor.
And then what are these for on the side here? These little Allen bolts.
Oil passages.
Okay. So we'll leave those on or take them off?
We can leave them on for now. We'll clean them out when it comes back. But yeah, they have to be cast into the casting. Otherwise, there would be no way of
Getting them to seal.
Yeah.
So they're specific to each block and head.
No, these are just the standard pipe thread, maybe? Just a standard thread.
Okay. And so what are those little things down there?
Valve seals.
Okay. That makes sense.
Keeps the oil out of your cylinder.
Cool. So that's where your exhaust goes, or your header.
Mm-hmm. It's a B25 for the left head. In case anyone was wondering.
Cool. So when they deck a head, are they decking this part?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do they do anything to the other side?
No.
Okay.
Just a real thin skim coat.
Is there any issues with it thus far? Like that you found?
No.
That you're worried about?
No, not too bad. A carbon buildup on the exhaust side. Seats are going to get ground. I really want to do a pocket port before we go with the oversized valves, but I think time is going to be prohibitive there.
That's what I'm asking about.
Yeah. A pocket port doesn't mess with the runners. Just a pocket around the valve stem seal or the valve guide.
So, like up here?
Yeah.
Down, like, in this part?
Mm-hmm. Because yeah, it's pretty narrow coming through there.
Okay, so it'd be like this slope right here.
I don't have one of those fancy pointers like that other YouTube channel, but yeah, you would just open up this portion around the valve seat on both sides to take advantage of oversized valves.
Okay.
These definitely have been off before. I just got it all dirty. But that is definitely not a factory mark there.
Is that the say 257?
Yeah. Which anyone who knows what they're doing would know that a B25 head is for an EJ257. Even if it didn't say B25, you would know it's the B25. One, because it had the ABCS on the intake cam. Two, because it doesn't have secondary air injection. Three, because it has the pent roof shaped combustion chambers.
Is this little bend right here?
Yeah, think of it like almost like a roof of a house. That's called a pent roof, P-E-N-T roof shape. The D25s are more hemispherical. So yeah, the only concern there is obviously there's a tolerance on how much you can deck cylinder heads. And it should be fine. Typically, they build that into the castings here. And there's still plenty of meat. So, yeah, it should be fine. But yeah, that's definitely signs that these heads have been off before.
But you thought that when you...
Yeah, the head gaskets weren't OEM. There's definitely some signs previously. Crusty.
We're trying to keep the crusty off of the crusty eye.
So...
Well, sweet. So we got one down. Now we're just going to do the exact same thing to the other side. So stay tuned. So each head has a casting number on it, I believe.
It's not a casting. It's
Or a machine number. Where is that?
Right there.
Alright. And what does that mean exactly?
It just helps keep everything together. So this will say 779 E779I. Oh.
It's okay. I get the point. So one will be exhaust and intake.
Well, the point is we put these on backwards.
Oh no. Well, let's switch those.
Yeah.
You're the one who gave them to me, so.
No, I put the first one on. I did it wrong.
Anyway, the point I was going to make is each one of these boxes or Tupperwares is labeled for each head, so we don't get confused. If you haven't gathered this by now, Mike and I like to stay organized. The other one is 807. Then the heads will go in this box and go to the machine shop. All right, what do we have here, Mike?
So for intake valves, we've got Brian Crower, 1 millimeter oversized intake valves. I believe this is a nitrided stainless steel valve. Same for the exhaust, again 1 millimeter larger than stock, nitrided stainless steel. Brian Crower single valve spring. It is not a beehive shaped valve spring like many of the other folks make for their single spring, and with that titanium retainers. These titanium retainers are less than half the weight of the factory retainers. The idea of a lightweight valve train is it supports higher revs better. Don't plan to rev the engine out too high, but every little bit counts. And then for camshafts, we've got the GSC Stage 2 Cams. These are a 272 duration camshaft, which is not terribly aggressive. The cylinder heads will have to be slightly clearanced for the lobes there. I'll be sure to show that off when we install them. I think it's got a max lift just under 11 inches. Yeah, peak lift 10.8 on the intake and 10.4 on the exhaust. 272 duration, so it should definitely help quite a bit. Help the engine breathe a little bit more, and that's kind of a basic breakdown of what we plan to do with the cylinder heads. Still waiting on the new valve guides to come in. Once those show up, I'll be sure to get everything dropped off and cross my fingers for a quick turnaround.
Well guys, thanks for watching our video. As you can see, Mike and I have big plans for our STI. Stay tuned. We will be including a video on our engine build, what we will be doing for our turbo and fueling system. We do have big plans for this, so like I said, stay tuned, and thanks again for watching.